All right, boys, it's Thursday, October 24th. Gonna have a big show, a little bit of football. Gonna cover college football first, dive into some NFL football, and we'll be talking maybe a little bit of Mexico F1. We'll see how it goes, right? See how that goes. Um, First up, Georgia Texas game. Great game. I loved it. Texas looked like they were weren't ready for the big game. Like they got too nervous about like their first real SEC game and kind of crapped the pants the first half. Um, and side note, Steelers and Tomlin tank for Arch. He looked good. He's a you can tell the difference between him and Ewers, right? Like there's just a different level to there. Ewers maybe like the bet more leave it like the older guy, a little bit leader, but Arch is clearly a better athlete. He kind of looks like um Eli with his grandfather's athleticism, which is amazing. That's pretty exciting to hopefully see him in the black and gold here in 2 years. So Steelers Tomlin tank for Arch. Um, but I would say like the Texas team just looked overwhelmed the first half and kind of were too stressed out. Actually like that little substitution there with Arch just to kind of settle things down, restart second half and kind of come back. I I thought they were going to come back and win, but sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. But the big, obviously, controversy was the call with the pass interference that got overturned because of Bottlegate. First of all, as the fans, you get irate, that's fine. You can't pull that every time, but that's also why I love college football. It is just chaos and mayhem. Um, teams beat teams they shouldn't. Like things like this happen. Like it's just fun sometimes, right? Mac Nation on a Tuesday, Hawaii football at 3 o'clock in the morning. I love it. Um, that all being said, it was the they turning over was the right move, but my twin Matthew McConaughey, I think put a funny statement out basically condemning the fans. So you can't pull that every time. That's like once every 5 years move, right? Don't do that next week or the week after. The call was absolutely horrendous and should have been overturned. But Georgia actually should appreciate it being overturned because if it wasn't, it stains their win, right? That they now everyone's like, oh, you only won because you got the refs, right? And that's it's a built-in excuse, and that could impact their rankings because the SEC has got a lot of folks, and with a lot of teams playing well, their rankings in the playoff is gonna matter. If they don't win the the SEC, and they can get a fifth versus an A spot or something like that, where they now are going on the road. It's a different atmosphere. So yeah, fun game. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how these playoffs shake out. The playoffs has actually been a great thing. They should expand to 16. I love it. All right, my favorite topic: Penn State football. Um, I've heard that there is a case from I think this summer where a former football players are accused of rape of a 17-year-old girl. This is great because this is not great. This is actually horrible, first of all, but it is just Penn State all the way. All these programs have terrible things, and Penn State just like all their players are just doing horrendous thing. Their frat just letting dudes die, allegedly. I think that guys were accused, so I don't know if I can say it or not, but allegedly just letting dudes die because they didn't want to get in trouble, and they got way more trouble for murder or manslaughter, whatever it is. Scumbag team. I haven't met a person with a clean soul, and a Penn State fan. Um, I think we all know personally somebody who's a Penn State fan and has wronged us, wronged someone we know, wronged someone we love. So, and my dad, Newt, always said, "You can do anything in this world. I will always support you, no matter what, except if you go to Penn State." So, he knew it in the 80s and 90s. He knew scumbag organization, scumbag university. You know what I mean? Awful, awful. All right, on to more fun stuff. Pitt Cuse. Um, Look, this is a wild time of the year for Pitt. Undefeated doesn't always happen. This I feel like I've just been in the pain. Where's that Alex Jones meme was like, I enjoy the pain. That's what being a Pitt fan is. You just you have to you want to be disappointed. Like you need disappointment in your life. And that makes it feel better. Makes me feel alive, I think, probably being a Pitt fan. On the side note of also the random high. So what I mean by that is like we're gonna lose one game this year, guaranteed, to a team we should not lose. And we're gonna beat someone we shouldn't. And then we're not gonna get in the playoffs because we lost to a team we shouldn't have, even though we beat a team we shouldn't have. And that's just gonna we're gonna get 13th, right? Boom. And that's just how it is. And it's gonna be sad and miserable. But that's okay. Is this the game that Pitt loses when they shouldn't lose? I'm not sure. I don't think Kus has the offense to complete the outscore Pitt. Pitt's defense is poop, but Pitt's offense is good. Um, Dave Tepper, whoever, every rich person, UPMC, the guy who created the polio vaccine, all that money to Eli. Eli should he should have he should be the best paid athlete in Pittsburgh next year, bar none, easily. Do not lose this guy. All right, so I'm still picking Pitt because I don't think they're gonna lose that trap game yet. I think that's like later down the season, like when they've got like 9 wins. That's when they start. That's when I get really scared when they're like, "Hey, Pitt's a playoff team." The second Pitt becomes a playoff team, that next week they lose, guaranteed. All right, on NFL. So a guy who I'm surprised didn't attend Penn State, Watson, blew out his Achilles, and we are all as a I would say medical skills. There's like doctors who continue the training, and then NFL/sports fans. Like we'll see something happen on the field, like Achilles, boom, knew it. Oh, ACL. We're picking things out, and we're turns out we're right because we've just seen it so much. Like we are, I think most dedicated sports fans probably deserve a medical degree, right? Like because we just can pick out injuries like instantaneously. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. But the second it happened, I think a lot of the fans started booing, which I fully support because one, you should express yourself. Two, the Browns fans basically sold their soul of, hey, we know this guy's a scumbag. We know that he did shady things and he's being accused left and right of horrible things. But we want to win. We want to, like, getting a Baker beating us or beating the Steelers was step one. We won a Super Bowl. I fully support selling your soul. Georgia does it. Um, and they got disappointed. Like he is probably I don't know if he's probably worse than Mason Rudolph. I would say he's worse than Kenny Pickett. Okay, he's worse than Kenny Pickett for sure. He's worse than Justin Fields. He is not. He's probably 40th quarterback. He's worse than Will Levis as a quarterback, right? He's poopy the last couple years, and he's missed a ton of games. So I think in 3 seasons there, I think he's missed almost 25 games or something like that, or maybe more. I think it's maybe also 30 now, which is wild to say. Missing 10 plus a season is insane. And they have basically bankrupt they're not bankrupt, but they've hurt their cap so much they can't move on. The only way they could do is they trade him to a team like Carolina who could just eat cap and give away, like, hey, we'll give you 3 first rounds, you take half his salary, and you got to take him. Like that's the only thing that could save their franchise. Um, which is insane. And they don't even have the first pick in this year's draft. And if you think Dion's going to um, let Shador go to Cleveland, you're insane. He's already said he's going to pick and choose where he goes. He's going to do old Arch, and not let him go. Like he didn't let Eli go. So he's not going to go to Cleveland this year anyway. So it's going to be hilarious whenever they don't get the first round pick. Shadur holds out and goes somewhere else anyways, and they're just stuck in this cycle of being bad for like 5 years. So we're looking at 7 more years of bad Browns football, and that's just a beautiful thing to see. So, but the funniest thing over the weekend was my man Myles Garrett, uh, multiple assaults. I think he did one in college and in the pros, which is wild. Um, and the most overrated defensive player ever in NFL history. Most overrated, not bad. Most overrated. Um, and he's a bad driver too. Bad guy, bad guy. Surprising. He went to Texas. I think he went to Texas A&M, which fits about right of the total of good quality people, right? Just weirdos. But he said about Watson that they shouldn't boo him because he's been a good person in college and most of his time in the pros. That word most is carrying so much water, its back is completely broken. It is insane to say most. Yes, most of his time was good. Most of Jeffrey Dahmer's life, he was a good dude. It was just those small portions of it where he was eating people, he was a bad guy, right? Like, if you take that, just like that's insane what he was saying. Like, wild statement. Like, I get saying that's he's your teammate and you got to stick with them and saying, hey, I don't like the booing, but don't throw in he's been a good guy, saying he's been like saying, hey, he's trying to like he's being a good person in the Cleveland community. Like, speak about what he's been doing since he's been to Cleveland, right? But other than that, it's crazy. And on to the actual game. Um, Vikings host the Rams in Thursday Night Football. So here's the thing: everything's saying Vikings, Vikings. But I read a stat that says every team that played the Lions the week before lost that week. And it's on a short week. Basically, Lions are violent and just are wrecking balls. Sam Darnold is coming a little bit back down to earth. He's not Jets bad, but he is not the best quarterback in the league. He's like six probably right now, right? Which is just um it's okay. That's not going to live them up, but it's still I think they're exceeding expectations. Um, did Flores blitz too much last week? Probably. Is he going to blitz too much this week? I don't think so. I don't think that the Cup is there, but throw two guys on him who also going to throw the ball to, right? And just the only thing I think the Rams do is run, run, run. Other than that, I don't see much happening. I think I'm going to go for the under today. I don't even know what the under is. Let me look it up real quick. Because the reason I'm saying is I don't think that the under is 47 and a half. I'm definitely going under. I don't think that the Rams are going to score very much. I just think the Vikings are going to beat up from playing the Lions last week. So yeah, that's it. So that's my take. Some fun stuff. Let's go Pitt. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, like, subscribe.